Hey Success Insiders, it's your coach Tim here. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can deal with haters, negative people, racist people, people who literally put us down and make us feel like shit, right? The people who are not empowering us, who are disempowering, who we want to basically get rid of in our lives. That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Okay guys, the first thing I need you to realize before we jump into any of the material, you have to realize that this is a very big world we live in. As you know, there's over 7.1 billion people living on this planet amongst us, right? With us. Which means that there are over 7.1 billion ways that we're going to make sense of how we view the world and how we make sense of this world we're living in. As you know, no two persons are the same, right? We're all different. Otherwise, we'd all like the same food. We'd all like to do the same things as one another. And that's simply not the case. So you have to realize that people are gonna basically make sense of different things in comparison to you. You just have to truly grasp the fact that, you know, this is a huge world and everyone makes sense of their own reality, their own model of the world differently. So grasp that and let's move forwards. Okay guys, the first thing you have to realize is when people generally hate, it's due to the fact that they're trying to protect something in themselves, okay? So you've probably heard how, you know, it's a widely chucked about quote you may see on Facebook and so forth about how haters, they're just simply stating something that's a reflection of themselves, is their insecurity. This is kind of true and it's definitely going in the right direction, but let me go slightly more deeper for you just so you really make a sense of this and really grasp this topic. Okay guys, so usually when people hate, it's due to the fact that they're trying to protect their level of significance. Okay, so for example, you know, I chuck a lot of videos out there on success and success with women, success with regards to wealth, in regards to health. And you will see amongst the lovely comments I receive from people like you, I get hater comments like racism out of nowhere, like, you know, oh, look at this bloody, you know, Asian guy, or, you know, of course it's a racist term they use, or look at this ugly girl, and they're basically talking about my fiance, just out of nowhere. They're just hating, right? So the reason why haters are doing this is by me projecting my own level of world and my own level of, let's say, success, is making them feel uneasy in regards to their significance. They're starting to feel that they are lower than me, which triggers the fear that majority of us have, which is we're not good enough, right? So whenever they come across something like that, they immediately resort back to like hating. They're like, oh, you know, I have to gain my ground, I have to hate, because they are basically acting in accordance to their fear, and it's been triggered by seeing something that is making them uneasy in regards to their significance and how special they feel. Here's a really good analogy. There are two ways of building the tallest building in a town, right? You can either focus on yourself and ensure that you basically grow and you become successful, or you can simply wipe out everyone else and like tear down their buildings so you're the biggest one stood there standing. And unfortunately, that's what majority of haters are doing, right? They're trying to protect their level of significance, so they're getting rid of everything else, or attempting to get rid of everything else, so they still feel special, right? So it doesn't trigger their fear of not feeling good enough, right? So you get it? Great. Let's move on to the next point. Okay guys, the next point is all about understanding. It's understanding that people are generally basically projecting their own level of awareness to you, right? Their own level of the world and how they view things, how they cope with their reality. And a lot of it is to do with conditioning, how they was brought up, the peers at the moment, their role models, right? Of course, it may not be aligned with how you or I think, but they are literally just projecting what they've learned and what they've been conditioned to say back to you. So it is wrong, but you have to realize it's not actually them. It's just conditioning. And it can break. That conditioning can break. How do I know that? Because I've been there, right? 7 years ago, a lot of you guys know I was in a gang, and you can be sure I used to cause a lot of harm to people, and I used to bully people. I used to be that negative person. But after I got myself out of that peer group into a new peer group, which are very successful go-getters, what happens to me? My viewpoint of how I view the world changed, right? How I go about my day-to-day changed. What I do every single morning in regards to meditation, gratitude, writing my diary and so forth, like that's all inhibited from changing my environment. So you have to realize that the person who may be hating you right now is not them. It's just simply their conditioning. Of course, in this current moment, it is wrong for them to do that, but they are simply just projecting their own level of awareness back to you, right? And it is wrong. But by you basically, arguing back to that person, it doesn't make it right either, right? Just imagine right now, like if you was to look back at your old self of how you used to view the world, let's say 5, 10 years ago. Imagine just like for a moment, like usually if I look back, I'm like, I can't believe I used to think like that, or I can't believe how I used to dress like that, right? But imagine if you were to turn back at your old self and say, oh, this is all wrong, you shouldn't be thinking like this. Would he even listen, or would she even listen? Of course not, right? You can't tell somebody that they are wrong just because your own level of awareness is higher, or just because your model of the world seems right, because everyone thinks their own model of the world seems right as well. So the only thing we can actually do, guys, is simply accept. That's it. Is accept their own model of the world. Realize that, yep, I can see the patterns they're running. I can see that they're hating because, they don't want to feel threatened in regards to their significance, and they don't want the fear of not feeling good enough. You come to that level of high awareness and you realize what haters hate. Simple as that. So you have to basically accept them. Simple. That's how you deal with haters, guys. That's how you deal with haters, is to realize that you can't argue back. That's just chucking fuel into the flame. And now you know why they're doing the stuff they do. Simply just accept it and move on and carry on what you're doing. Because guess what? You are focusing on yourself. You're focused on building the tallest building, and you're not, being a hater by chucking or tearing down everyone else's building. You're focusing on your building and growing highest possible building, which is your self-growth as possible. And that's what's going to make you successful. And guys, just be really thankful. Be thankful for the fact that you've got this open mind. Be thankful for that you're not this hater, right? Because this hater has got such a closed mind that he is not going to be open to this level of awareness stuff. He'll probably chuck more hate comments in this particular video. But it's amazing because, we connect, right? And we make sense of this, and we're open to this. And because of that, you're going to live a higher quality of life than them. And so I think it's important for you and I to be very thankful for the fact that we are very open, and we're open to self-development, and we're blessed enough to have this level of awareness in this particular time in life, right? Just be thankful for it. It's a blessing in disguise. Seriously. Grasp this reality you're living and realize how truly amazing it is, and you can squeeze every drop out of life and make every second count. Okay? Excellent. I hope all of that made sense to you. To just go back over is, the first point was to realize haters hate truly down to the fact that they don't want to feel threatened, right? They don't want to feel like they're not good enough, right? You're questioning their level of significance by basically doing what you're doing. Second point is to realize that you have to accept haters and realize it's not necessarily them, it's their conditioning that's making them like that, right? Hopefully one day they will wake up, but for a lot of people it's not in their lifetime, right? So be thankful, which is a third point. Be thankful that it is in this lifetime that you can basically be open to this and you can grow further than them. So carry on doing what you're doing because you're doing amazing. Realize that haters sometimes is a very good sign that you are doing something wonderful, right? Because at the end of the day, if it's making them uneasy, it means that you're obviously doing something that's better than them. So carry on doing what you're doing because you are honestly doing amazing. Okay guys, that is it from me. If you're new to this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button. And if you want to join our tribe, go in the link in the description box below to join our secret Facebook group. And guys, as always, follow your heart and take action, and let's go live the life we was born to live. Let's go.